Hello, check. I think, yeah, sound is good. So I think request everybody to be seated. Yeah. 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 Okay. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to Vikram S, what we call it as Space Bash. Very special evening for all of us because we have a special guest, needs no introduction, KTR Garu, and 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 even more special is he's wearing Mission Praram T-shirt. So first it has shaken Mission Praram has shaken the country, and now he's wearing that historic T-shirt. We are very glad that you did it for us, sir. I think such a great gesture for Team Skyroot, and. And also, in fact, today another big inauguration happened. That is the Gachibowli Bridge. In fact, sir was just coming from there. Thanks a lot for taking time out for us. And also I invite Principal Secretary, Industries, Commerce, and IT, Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu. Thanks a lot, sir, for making it in very short notice. And also we have T-Hub CEO MSR Garu. Also, in fact, like we are a T-Hub incubated company. And today, in fact, 4 years down the line, now if we see every startup wants to be part of T-Hub. In fact, recently, one of our Skyroot employees started a new company and they also wanted to be in T-Hub first. I think it's become a brand which everybody wants to be part of. Uh, And I think that's the kind of I think vision the Telangana state had, and KTR Garu has showcased, and a lot of confidence has built in the startup ecosystem, and building world's largest innovation campus right here in Hyderabad. I think we are very proud of all this, and I think a round of applause for T Hub. So, Team Skyroad, I think this is your day. It's a very important day as we celebrate the historic launch success. So, before we start, I think I would like to take a moment and see where our journey started. In 2018, when we started Skyroot, we were just two people, and most people said it's a very crazy thing to build rockets out of India because there was no policy per se in 2018, and we don't know, I think no aerospace company raised capital, at that point of time, and then people said you won't be able to raise capital, you won't be able to build rockets, government will not allow you, there's a lot of red tape, et cetera, et cetera. And I think 4 years down the line, I think here it is, we launched India's first privately built rocket to space, and 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 more importantly, we did it. We hit the bullseye in the first attempt. Big applause to Team Skyroot for achieving this big feat. And just imagine, on November 18th, 11:30 a.m., the entire nation celebrated the launch. In fact, the entire nation celebrated all the 200 employees of Skyroot who made this happen. It's a historic event for the country. I think just imagine if 200 people in Hyderabad, can build a rocket and launch to space and hit the bullseye in the first attempt itself. Anything can happen in the country, and anything can happen from the Hyderabad ecosystem as well. A big round of applause again for this great success. So today, in fact, we are all wearing Mission Praram. In fact, we call it Mission Praram because this is a great start for a new era in the Indian private space sector, and also big achievement, for the startup industry as well. And we all are wearing Mission Praram T-shirt, including our Honorable Minister, KTR Garu, and we're very proud that he's wearing this proud Mission T-shirt on him today. And so now let's recreate those moments. So let's. I think a lot of you have watched the launch, and we are wearing the same T-shirt we wore on the day of launch. So let's play the 1 minute clip and recreate that launch which happened on November 18th. And I think a request to please put on the video which our team made, which will recreate that historic moment. Prashant and Guna, if you are here. So we'll call. Or we'll call them now itself. Acha. So there is some time I think we can just imagine imagine for the launch for a moment while we load it on to the screen. And also, I think as you came into this place, I think you have seen just outside there is a wonderful model of Vikram S. Saying that it's a 1:2 model. So that was made at Hyderabad in just few days. In fact, like we requested T-Works, to do the needful, and they built one of the most beautiful rocket model ever built, I would say. And in fact, that was a master class model which was built, day and night at T-Works. Hats off to T-Works and a round of applause for the team. And on the launch day at Sriharikota, at the Mission Control Center, so the biggest attraction was, of course, the launch, and also the other biggest attraction was the model which was placed outside the Mission Control Center, which the same model is put, outside this venue here. I think a really great work from T-Works team, which gladly took up at very short notice and did it for Team Skyroot. Yeah. So now we play the video. I hope the audience.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Event number 96 completed.
So I think how many people got goosebumps again? I think that's the kind of event and in fact, it's not only in India, across the world, this event has been celebrated. And I think a lot and lot of people watched it on the TV, a lot of media attention, So literally everybody was celebrating Skyroot and, it's a great feat in India as Mission Praram. So now I invite dignitaries to stage. KTR Garu onto the stage, please. And Jayesh Garu, please request you to take the dais. MSR Garu, please request you. Yeah. And Bharat, you are there. Yes, yes. Okay. So I now request MSR Garu to just to say a few words, and uh, according to him, you want to listen, what it means, the launch means to the Hyderabad ecosystem and for the country, few words, please.
Thank you, Pawan. So first of all, Team Skyroot, congratulations again on on a really awesome and momentous feat. So I'll start with a small story, Pawan. So when we've worked with over 1100 startups, but when I start a presentation, I start with saying we also have we also have a company which does rocket science, and we really have a company which does rocket science, right? So that's first. I remember, about a month back, we had an event where Pawan was on stage and he talked about how it took him 2 years to raise his money, the first serious round of funding. So kudos to you. You've demonstrated persistence, you've demonstrated outstanding technical capability, and also demonstrated the ability to pull together a team and work with the ecosystem. Right? So my friend here, Sujay, who I think their team has played a big part. So kudos to you. You are an inspiration to all of us. You are an inspiration to all the startups. Right? And just want to say one last thing before we go. I spoke to you briefly the other day, and I said we think we can position Hyderabad as the place to be for space tech. So we'll work with NRSA, the University of IIT Tirupati, right, Amazon, and also Dhruva to create an incubator for space tech, right? And IIT Tirupati is keen to partner with us, and we'd love for you to be a lead partner in evangelizing this effort. So all the best, onwards and upwards.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Garu. In fact, like, we call outside when we go, right? We say Hyderabad is the space capital of India, because two big startups, in the country, the biggest startups, Skyroot and Dhruva, both are based out of Hyderabad. I think a lot to do from the ecosystem. It's great that, a lot of initiatives are happening, from the T-Hub side. And I think a lot of new initiatives would love to participate. And so now I invite on stage, in fact, the only civil servant in the country I know who replies at rocket speed whenever we need him. I think Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu.
Honorable Minister, Pavan, Bharat, MSR Garu, Sujay, Subbarao Garu, all the team members of Skyroot, heartiest congratulations to all of you. You have really made us proud, not just us in Hyderabad or in Telangana, but the whole country really has appreciated the kind of work that you have done. And a while ago, Pavan was telling that you have shown that nothing is impossible in this country, given the kind of talent we have. Some of you will be aware that our government had launched the space tech policy. In fact, becoming the first state in the country to create a dedicated space tech policy about a year and a half ago. Again, that was an event which had created lots of excitement because it was the first official government event which was done using metaverse. And eventually that policy is intended to benefit companies and startups like yours who are coming up with new solutions, new products, and who really want to showcase the best possibilities and opportunities that we can utilize in the space tech area. We know that you are not going to rest on what you have accomplished. There are many other new ideas that you are kind of developing. I'm also happy to share with you that Dhruva, another illustrious space tech startup from Hyderabad, I mean, it's a very nice coincidence that we are having this event today here. Tomorrow is their launch of their satellites. 2 of their satellites are getting launched from Sriharikota tomorrow. And so best wishes in advance to them as well. But another great thing about the satellites which are getting launched by Dhruva tomorrow is that 11 MSMEs from Hyderabad have contributed to building it. So it also shows the kind of prowess that we have, particularly our aerospace, defense, and now space sector, the kind of talent and capability that is there in our MSME sector as well. So once again, warmest congratulations to both Pavan and Bharat and the entire team. And may you continue to do all of us proud. We will hope to meet you and celebrate your accomplishments in these kind of platforms again and again. Thank you very much.
And so basically, because KTR sir is here, in fact, I would like to take this opportunity to say that, sir, in fact, at Skyroot, even though, we're the leading space tech startup in the country, so we go to other states for testing. And that's why, in fact, we want to build an integrated design, manufacturing, testing, center first time in the country in Telangana state. So we would like to have your help in, every way possible so that we can make it happen soon. So now I invite on stage someone whose persona represents speed and fire like a rocket. And so that is none other than Shri KTR Garu.
Wow. Thank you for that introduction. I've never been introduced like that before. Speed and fire and over but thank you. So guys, firstly, I think the team Skyroot, who've made not just Hyderabad, T-Hub, but the entire country proud. I think you deserve a much, much bigger round of applause than anybody else. That's not loud enough. ఇంకొద్ది గట్టిగా. Seriously. Like Pawan was saying, it was a goosebumps moment for all of us, even though we may not have been directly involved in the process of rocket making, in the process of what all you had to go through over the last 4 years to build a rocket, to actually put it up there in space. I think each of us could feel the sense of pride. Each of us could feel the sense of happiness. But each of you, I'm sure, must have felt that day. So Bharat, I know you don't do much talking, but when Bharat and Pawan come together, Bharat is, of course, representative of India. I would imagine Bharat, right? Pawan is Pawan, wind, air. So in spite of all the headwinds, when these two guys came together, it had to happen, and it happened from Hyderabad, and that's what makes me the most happy. So congratulations, Pawan. Congratulations, Bharat. Congratulations, Padma Shri Gyan Gandhi ji. Thank you, sir. We had met earlier. Thank you very much. And also, I think Anand Technologies, Subbarao Garu, for being a valuable partner to this young team. Congratulations to the 210 family of Skyroot, which should really, I mean, this is once in a lifetime kind of a moment. This is something that you can't recreate. This is a truly historic moment, not just for you, but for the entire Indian space tech industry. And could not have happened from a better place than Hyderabad. And I remember very, very distinctly and very vividly when Jayesh, myself, MSR, Sujay, all of us were part of the historic launch of space tech policy by government of Telangana. We had done it in Metaverse because this was during the COVID times. So we had done it in Metaverse, and it was the first of its kind for a government to launch its policy in Metaverse also. So I'm truly happy, truly proud that a space tech company from Hyderabad, from India, has broken all barriers. And what's even more astounding, like they say, when you don't understand something, people say it's not rocket science, like MSR said. But to actually ace rocket science and to actually make it happen in the very first go, I think one of the very few companies in the world is what Pawan and Bharat were telling me, to have done this across the world. Ante first attempt lone మనం స్పేస్లోకి రాకెట్ పంపించే సత్తా మనకుందని చెప్పగలిగే శక్తి సంతరించుకోవడం అంటే అది మామూలు విషయం కాదు. కాబట్టి kudos to all of you and your abilities and your amazing teamwork. It cannot happen, with 2 or 3 people coming together. I'm sure all of you together had to pull out all-nighters, had to pull out extra hours, had to pull out lot of hardships, had to endure a lot of hardships during the last couple of years. I know these guys were doing a lot of rounds to investors, lot of rounds to private equity players. They really toiled hard, both of them, to pitch and to get the right kind of investment. And your biggest shareholder is on his way. He said he'll join us shortly. Anil he's coming up. Anil of Greenco. My compliments to him as well. Because inventors, innovators need capital, need the support, especially when you're trying to break through in new sectors. Because already established sectors, somebody trying to ape an Amazon and come out with an arm, a similar e-commerce arm, is a relatively easy story to sell. But you're talking rockets, you're talking an Indian company from 2 Indian youngsters wanting to make rockets and send them to space. It's a difficult sell. So Pawan, we have to learn a lot of marketing techniques from you also. Because, I'm sure you've had to really, ఎందుకంటే ముందు రాకెట్ అని చెప్పంగానే సగం మంది అక్కడే పుట్ ఆఫ్ అయిపోతారు. ఇండియన్ కంపెనీ పిల్లలు చూస్తేనేమో ఇంకా చిన్న పిల్లలాగా ఉన్నారు, వీళ్ళు రాకెట్స్ ఏంటి అనుకునే టైపే ఉంటారు. ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ స్పీక్ తెలుగు బై ద వే. Okay, some of you do, actually most of you do. So the point I'm trying to make is, it's very, very difficult. It's like literally selling sand in a desert. And not easy. You're breaking barriers, you're breaking ceilings, you're breaking new frontiers. This is not easy job. And also what's even more important is, see, I've seen these guys before, I'm seeing them again. I've seen them 2 years ago. I've seen them recently, even before the launch, and now I'm seeing them again today. Even today when I was talking to them, I could feel. So your biggest shareholder, your biggest investor is here. Why don't you come up? Hey, come up, it's okay. I don't know how many of you seen this guy, but you should see him. This is Anil Garu from Greenco. So like I was saying, Gopi, I was just telling them, Gopi, that you need to find a partner who believes in the story, who needs to believe in the concept, who needs to actually believe in ideas which break frontiers. And you've truly done that. My compliments to you as well in believing in their abilities, in believing in the team's abilities, and funding in, the much needed, giving in the much needed impetus so that they could actually send a rocket into space. But what was even more impressive was just a few minutes ago when we were chatting. So నేను అడిగాను, మరి టీ-షర్ట్ నాకేదే అని అడిగాను. మీ వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వలేదు ఫ్రీగా, అది కూడా ఇవ్వట్లేదు. They said we are also getting into merchandise. I don't know whose idea that is, but it's a brilliant idea, because lots of kids, I'm sure, will look forward. Because as children, as youngsters, if you are enthused about these sectors, I'll tell you a simple story that all of us can relate to. So myself, Jayesh, my entire team, we were in Japan on a visit. We went to Hamamatsu. It's a small town. It's where Suzuki is headquartered. So we went there to meet the chairman of Suzuki, Osamu Suzuki. So we were there ahead of time, almost a half an hour, because we knew that the Japanese are very punctual. They like, like the rest of us to be punctual also. మన ఇండియన్ స్ట్రెచబుల్ టైం లా కాకుండా వాళ్ళ దగ్గర టైంకి వెళ్ళాలి మనం. కాబట్టి ముందే వెళ్ళి కూర్చున్నాం అక్కడ. కూర్చుంటే దే సెడ్, వై డోంట్ యూ గెట్ ఎ టూర్ ఆఫ్ ద మ్యూజియం, సుజుకి మ్యూజియం, విచ్ ఇస్ రైట్ అక్రాస్ ద ఆఫీస్. అంటే సరే అని చెప్పి మేమంతా మ్యూజియంకి వెళ్ళిపోయాం. we started going around that Suzuki museum. So it had everything from the first make to the entire set of automobiles that they have made. So we were going around all fascinated. Appati కార్లు ఏంటి, అప్పటి ఆటోమొబైల్స్ ఏంటి, అప్పటి టెక్నాలజీ ఏంటి, ఎట్సెట్రా ఎట్సెట్రా. Then I suddenly, to my surprise, I saw some very, very small kids, probably in grade 3 or grade 2. Second class పిల్లలో, third class పిల్లలో, వాళ్ళు, there is about 40 of them going around the museum. నేను ఆటోమొబైల్ మ్యూజియం, ఇది నాకే బోరింగ్ ఉంటుంది అనుకుంటే వాడేం చూస్తాడు చిన్న పిల్లోడు. Why did you get all these guys here అని చెప్పాను. You know what they told me? They said something very interesting. They said, why don't you watch what they are learning? You know what they made them do? They took them to a kiosk, proper kiosk లాగా. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత there is multiple options. Like ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈ వెండింగ్ మెషిన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, కోక్, సోడాస్ కొనుక్కోవడానికి, అన్ని డిఫరెంట్ స్నాక్స్ కొనుక్కోవడానికి. అట్లాగే అక్కడ ఒక వెండింగ్ మెషిన్ ఉంది. ఆ వెండింగ్ మెషిన్లో there are different options for the kids. You can customize the kind of car you want to make. Say for instance, you want to make a Suzuki Vitara, right? So you pick the car, then you pick the color, you pick the make, you customize it, and మీ పేరుతో అంటే ఏ కలర్ కావాలి, ఏం కావాలి అన్ని పిక్ చేసుకుంటే ultimately a small toy with your name actually comes out of the whole thing. What it does to that young mind is, ఎట్లా కార్ తయారు చేయాలి, ఎట్లా కస్టమైజ్ చేయాలి, ఆ డిజైన్ ఇన్నోవేషన్ that people typically don't inculcate at a very young age. Now that was accomplished and that was done in a very subtle fashion, in a very indirect fashion, by way of sending these kids through that small routine. వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్నారు, మరి why are Japanese automobiles, German automobiles so good? Why is their precision engineering so good? అంటే చిన్నప్పటి నుంచే ఆ డిజైన్ థింకింగ్లోకి, చిన్నప్పటి నుంచే వాటి గురించి ఒక ఫ్యాసినేషన్ డెవలప్ చేస్తే people will start gravitating and moving towards it. That is unfortunately sorely missing in our system here. We believe in theory. We don't really believe much in the practical exposure to how manufacturing is done, what are the new advanced manufacturing facets, etc., etc. I would absolutely be thrilled, and I would love to see Hyderabad as a space tech capital of India. Now Skyroot, of course, has made us proud. Tomorrow I'm very confident that one of your colleagues and cohorts, Dhruva, will also put their satellites tomorrow into, I think, sending them to orbit, or they are launching tomorrow. So let's also wish them luck. Let's also cheer each other so that we actually become the space tech hub and space tech capital for India. We've already launched a space tech policy. And as you've just requested, Pawan, and I promised Pawan and Bharat, that they should not be sending their rockets elsewhere. They should be designed, they should be manufactured, they should be tested all in Telangana, and I promise you to get that land. What are we calling it? What are we calling this facility? You say, you gave me a name. Per చెప్పావు ఇందాక. What are we calling the facility? Integrated, మళ్ళీ చెప్పు నాకు integrated India's first integrated design, manufacturing and testing facility based in Telangana, and that will be Skyroot's facility from Telangana. I'll make it happen soonest. We'll break ground. So enjoy the moment, but there's many more miles to go before you rest on your laurels, because I think there are newer frontiers to conquer. You guys have to put satellites in the orbit probably in the next 1 year or so. You'll have to do a lot more. You'll have to attract the attention of the globe, and you'll have to continue to grow and continue to break more and more barriers. I love the name Skyroot because of one simple reason. While you may be soaring in skies, you're still rooted, in a place where you belong. And I truly love the fact that you've done it from India and you've done it from Hyderabad and Telangana. So congratulations to the entire family of Skyroot. Wishing you more and more success onwards and upwards. Thank you.
So that was a phenomenal speech. And in fact, I still remember, I think a couple of years ago, we tested India's first privately built rocket engine, and we were surprised to see that the first one who called us was KTR Garu. And we had a closed door discussion that day. In fact, he asked me, what do you mean by Skyroot? I gave a very lame definition because, actually Skyroot, it didn't mean much, we just named it because it sounded good. Then he said, I think Skyroot should be, you're always aiming at the skies while still rooted on the ground. I think that's the definition he has given. And after that, I think everybody who asked us what is Skyroot, I think we have copied his definition. So I think that credit we'll give it to you, sir. So, and in fact, I take this opportunity to also invite upon stage Mr. Anil Chalmal Shetty. He's been a great supporter for Skyroots the last 3 years. I think without him we would not have come this far. I think I would like to really want to hear a few words from him. So in fact, he has built, India's largest, renewable energy company in a very short period of time, and it's a phenomenal entrepreneur. He's in fact like leading India's challenge, for shifting to renewables, and also like very much needed for the world right now. And I think we would like to speak few words about Skyroot.
Thanks, Pawan. Fundamentally, I'm not so used to giving speeches, but I hope I'll make it very straightforward. Firstly, thank Mr. KTR Garu. And while I was walking this first time, I've been to T-Hub, and Sujay invited me to T-Works. Superb, impressive station. And while walking to T-Hub, by mistake I went to third floor, and I was just wandering around the beach and desks and the various. It's an amazing facility, and what we've been lucky. We are lucky in the given times that we have been great timings, where we have opportunity to innovate, change, leadership. That's what the whole world is looking in every sector. And given the space what we are in and the time span, and having this sort of ecosystems and such a level of leadership and support you're getting from them, it's a great opportunity what we were able to take advantage of. And I think from that basis, I'm pretty sure the Hyderabad is going to be the capital of intellectual growth, and new innovations going to happen. Just not for India. I'm pretty sure in the next 5 years we'll go and place it in the world map. I'm pretty sure on that. Secondly, when coming towards Sky, I just want to make it brief. Firstly, when KTR was mentioning that I was most impressed with Pawan came to me briefly. I'm a very unorganized person, so we had a couple of times missed out to catch up. But when I said actually the whole context of private rockets and or an orbital launch, I was excited about the whole courageousness. The whole immediately I checked the checkbox. Somebody imagining and viewing to do such a large thing. So that's the most important thing is to think big, think beyond the boundaries. There's no boundaries at all. Whoever can think in a courageous manner, today we require courage, knowledge. Once you have the both, I think everything can be achieved in these markets. That's what we're going to say. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Anil Garu, for those wonderful words. And in fact, like he was at the Mission Control Center during the launch, cheering for the launch. Thanks for coming and cheering for us for the launch, which is a very historic launch for the country. And so now I call upon stage, I think the one who speaks the least, my co-founder and my best friend, Bharat, to speak a few words.
Hello everyone. So first of all, thank you KTR Garu for accepting our invite and for inspiring words to our team. And Jesh Garu, thank you so much for giving your inspiration to the team as well. Thanks for obliging KTR Garu's request and coming in the last minute. We hope we didn't create any inconvenience for you, Anil Garu. Thank you so much. So now we'd like to offer present a miniature version of our Vikram rocket to KTR Garu, and also a frame, a made in Telangana frame of our rocket. We want it get to signed by you, sir, and we'll give a replica of it also to you to take home. And the miniature model along with the 3 feet model, 3 meter model outside is built by T-Works in record time on our request, and the great help and great enthusiasm for our team.
It's it's now my pleasure to invite Minister Garu to. It's now my pleasure to invite Minister Garu to facilitate our two intrepid young entrepreneurs and role models, Pawan and Bharat.
Thank you, Mr. Garu, for and for the surprise facilitation plan. And so we have a few goodies for the invitees on stage also. Like we request Pavan to just hand over the goodies, and after that we'll proceed for a just a cake cutting ceremony, sir. We want you to be part of it. Address, Pavan. No, no, you can.
So I request KTR Garu, Bharat and Anil Garu to jointly cut the cake. Yeah. So once again, I think thanks everybody for making it here. And in fact, we have an after party after this, after at 8 p.m. onwards, hosted by Anil Garu. I think we'll have a good we'll have a good time with there. And so now, anybody, sir, I request some patience from you because our team is waiting for selfies with you. I think it'll be great, little bit time if you can be on the stage so that our team can take pictures with you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So and then let's we'll take one group selfie before that, so that the entire team Skyroot comes in frame. ఎత్తకండి దొరుకుతుంది